Well, hello, everyone. It's Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your February the 24th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. So I'm greeting you in the dark with a little flashlight. We've been hit pretty bad with an ice storm. And so I just want to make sure that I use the little bit of energy and power I have to go through this meditation with you. Again, it is entitled Learning to Trust, February 24th. We do not have to understand this program for it to work. All we have to do is to follow direction. Basic text, chapter 8, we do recover. Oh, that's all we have to do? Is it? We mutter to ourselves. I'm supposed to trust these folks and do something I don't understand? Yeah, right. We learn to recognize this voice of our internal cynic. Sometimes we hear from an entire committee of smart behinds living between our ears. Call it what you will, the disease, the committee, or an inner demon. It tries to sabotage our recovery from the start. We learn to talk back to that voice, thank it for sharing, and then seek better counsel from other members. The members we consult may tell us, if you want what we have, do what we do. When we balk at the idea of relying on others, as many of us do, we're reminded that it wasn't so long ago that we hand our money to a stranger, trusting they'd return with drugs. Despite our resistance, we find ourselves desperate enough to follow the lead of those who came before us. Some of us start by nibbling at the edges of their advice. Others swallow it whole. Either way, we can see the value of taking action. We learn to act as if we trust the process, relying on blind faith instead of trying to grasp why and how. Understanding is overrated, a wise new friend suggests. Figure it out is not an NA slogan. It takes a measure of trust for us to come back for a second meeting and then a third. Whether we were inspired by seeing stone cold addicts who turn their lives around or we simply run out of options, it takes courage to take direction. We put one foot in front of the other, taking suggestions from a growing circle of support and trusting that we're moving in the right direction. I will take a leap of faith today, trusting that fate or instinct or an addict in recovery or some other power greater than me will steer me in the direction of my hopes. Learning to trust is the topic. The spiritual principle would be trust, faith, even hope. All of these. Open-mindedness could fit in here as well. Willingness could actually fit in here as well. And you know what? The how of the program, honesty. Because if you honestly look at the fact that our best thinking got us to the point that we came to NA, we would honestly be able to say, I might not be in a position to actually dictate or tell myself how I need to do anything right now. I honestly need some help. And even though it is an act of humility to accept guidance and direction, not even just accept guidance and direction, it is an act of humility to ask for help. But you know how many people have asked for help and not received it? Because somewhere between the asking, the humility that comes along with asking for help, and the actual positioning of one's spirit, their heart and mind to receive the help that they get is a whole nother level of humility. I might ask you for help and I might desperately need it. But let's say the person giving the help doesn't look like you, Or maybe they don't talk like you. Or maybe they don't walk like you. Maybe there's something about them that you utterly cannot stand. And then all of a sudden, this arrogant individual rises up within me, or you or us, right? Rises up and say, you know what? I might need some help, but I don't need it that bad. I'll keep my eyes open for the next teacher because I'm a student that's ready. Are you? Are you really a student that's ready so that when the teacher appears, you can get the help that you need? See, sometimes we still have a little bit of bias within us, a little bit of pride, a little bit of arrogance, so that even if we were humble enough to ask for help, by the time the help starts to come along, now all of a sudden we want to tell the help how to help us. We're not humble at all. That was false humility, because real humility goes along, it goes the whole journey. Oh, that's not to say that sometimes your spirit won't rise up and say, you know what, I don't like how they're talking to me. No, I'm not saying that people should talk to you just any kind of way. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what happens between being humble enough to ask for help and trust that help when it comes along the way. What happens? It's nothing more than pride. Absolutely nothing more than pride rising up in whatever masquerade that it might have, whether it be judgment, whether it be hatred, whether it be socialization. It could be so many different things. But I guarantee you, if you ask for help, if you're humble enough to ask for the help, and you remain in that same level of gratitude and humility and appreciation when that help comes, it won't matter. It won't matter who's bringing it to you. You'll be so grateful for the answer and you'll take the suggestion. That's why this meditation says that it takes a lot to ask for help. But mind you, it also takes a lot to receive that help. And then I want to go one step further, just another leap of faith. After I get the help, I get an opportunity to be the help. And I want to tell you, that is a whole different level of humility. Is allowing yourself to be the help, knowing that the individual that say they're seeking help, when you come along with the help, it's probably at some point in time going to turn on its head and you're going to be the problem all of a sudden, even though you were coming with a spirit of goodwill. It takes humility to also be the help. Hey, I want you to think about that today. I want you to think about learning to trust in what your process has looked like. And then drop it in the comments below and tell me, how is that going for you? What stage are you in regards to this? Taking direction, asking for it, taking it, and then being able to turn around and give it back freely, what was given to you. I'm anxious to hear from you. I've enjoyed talking to you today, and I am going to be talking to you tomorrow. And imagine that I still have batteries, so we definitely will have a chance to talk tomorrow.